Hey, what's going on, guys? Michael or Pokewhirl here, back with basically my first video. I feel like this is like my basically first video, and it's going to be released on the first day, January 1st, I think. Basically, this video is going over everything I have collected so far in my Pokemon journey. So I first started collecting around 2019, December. I bought a Sun and Moon booster box for like $100-something. Then, you know, COVID happened. It was super hard to collect, so I kind of like fell off the hobby. And then I started collecting again back in 2024 September, literally like 2 or 3 weeks right before Surging Sparks came out. So I've kind of like, how I would describe my collecting journey is coming back right before the big boom. So I had that month of glory where I was actually able to like find product and stuff before everything just went crazy. So in this video, I'm going to show everything I have collected so far, my favorite stuff, the mistakes I've made in collecting, and just go over everything. Without further ado, let's get started with showing off my collection. All right, so we've got quite a pile of stuff. We got this stuff over here, that, and we got all these binders right here. We got some like other memorabilia and stuff like that, but we're gonna start with the slabs and like loose cards that I have out. Take 2 on actually recording the video. Gotta pop a cold one real quick. Well, it's not actually a cold one, it's root beer, which I guess should be the first thing I show. It's a cool little coaster I got made. Look at that. Wow, wow, wow. And I'm recording on my phone now, so this is my phone case. I have a you'll accomplish more if you start now. This is honestly the fortune cookie that made me start the channel. Very funny. And of course I have a phone display with a Pokewhirl. So Pokewhirl is going to be a very constant theme in this video. You're probably going to see a lot of them. So you can never get sick of them though, because it's Pokewhirl. So that's good to know. So that's my phone case. We're going to start with all of our slabs and cards that don't have a home yet in my collection, but hopefully we'll soon find a home. We're going to start off, we got this cool little Pokewhirl sticker. I'd love to get one of those, like a CGC 10. And let's start this video with the very first card that I ever pulled that's like actually worth something and, you know, worth a lot to me. And it's this Espeon GX from the Sun and Moon booster box that I got. I actually got a hit. Absolutely love the color of this card and just like the texture. It's such an absolutely stunning card. I remember I sold this. I sold this card, the very first card I ever pulled. I sold it or traded it back in like October, November for a 151 ETB. Ever since then, I was depressed, but the guy who traded it for me, he was like, it's AZ Poke Corner, one of the guys there. He kept it, he gave it to his wife, and I was like, hey, if I buy the same exact card, would you trade me back my version of the card? And he did, which was, I'm super grateful for. Graded a 10, this is a forever piece for me, and I'm super excited it graded well. Not that grading matters to me, for at least some cards they don't. So next, this is part of a 5 cards tag submission. So we have a Pokewhirl 9. And you know what? I'm going to give this card away. So if you want to win this Pokewhirl Tag 9, all you got to do is like the video, subscribe, and comment what your favorite card was that from my collection. And what is your favorite card in your collection? One or the other. Just do something. I mean, who really cares? Back to the video. So this is a giveaway card. Cool, cool, cool. Will no longer be in my collection. Then we have a Poliwrath and Wrath from Twilight Masquerade. I was hoping for 3 straight 10s. The Poliwrath got a 9. Very sad about that. We'll probably re-attempt that in the future. Next, let's go through some Ace cards. Ace is definitely my favorite grading company, at least logo-wise, because or branding-wise. I really like the labels on the Ace cards, at least some of them. Some of them I'm not like a super big fan of, but I bought this Dialga. It was a 10. It's a little bit shoddy on the centering. It's got to like be bordering that 60-40. Glad we got it in a 10 though. This card is just absolutely stunning. So super happy to have it. Now all the Ace cards from here are going to be ones that I submitted. We're going to start with Ace cards that I pulled. This first one is the Sableye from Sword and Shield. I bought it from a build and battle, and I got a 10, which is super cool. Next one, another card. This is the first rainbow card I ever pulled. It is Guzzlord from Crimson Invasion. I bought it from a 3-pack blister at Target. Again, right before the big boom. This was probably like this was January of 2020, so right before COVID kind of hit. Got an 8, which I'm kind of sad about. but I absolutely love the logo on this rainbow card. So this is one I keep on my desk because I always just love to look at it. The texture is absolutely stunning. Amaris, the only prismatic SIR I have pulled from like the 100 of prismatic packs, and I didn't even get a 10. And it's Amaris. Like, who cares about this trainer? And then I got this from a rip and ship. I did a wheel spin for $30, landed on a fossil pack, had that pack weighed, it weighed heavy, we opened it, and it got an 8. So shout out Trainer Spree. It was a super cool experience. So I technically didn't rip it, but it was my pack. So super happy to own this. I'm going to get it signed by him when I meet you, Trainer Spree. You know that's going to happen someday. Next are just cards that I submitted. None of them graded well, but we got a Team Rockets Ariana. That's wife right there, low key. Leafeon, one of my favorite Leafeon arts, and I think is still super underrated. Got a 9. Quapo first edition. This is, I believe, German. Got an 8. And then we have a Slugma Deoxys, which I thought looked absolutely clean. We got a 6. I could buy the report and figure out why. Might do that later, crack and resubmit. I think this card is absolutely, this is one of the funniest cards to just ever exist in history. And super happy to own it, regardless of the grade. Next, we are going to go over, I guess, I have this Vaporeon Tag 9. This is for my sister for Christmas. I'm still actually deciding if I want to give it to her or keep it for myself because I absolutely love this card. Next, I guess we'll go over my niche cards. We have a Poliwag, a Poliwhirl, and a Poliwrath Topps Chrome. The Topps one is in a 10. This is probably extremely low pop. I bought it for like 60 bucks and I sold it, and then I bought it again off the same guy I sold it for, so I kind of lost money off that, but I needed it at the time. So that's the first collecting mistake I made. I spent way too much money that I didn't have. I constantly do that sometimes, but hey, it's for Pokemon, right? So I mean, who cares? Second one my dad gave me as a Christmas gift. It was the Hasbro magazine Poliwhirl. You had to cut this out of the magazine, and this got an 8. Absolutely love this card. They're like tiny little toys that, look how small those toys are. I mean, that's probably for size. True. Next, we got this like it's like that has that scratchy texture, and it's like that, and it's got a 9. Next one is a Blue Dot Air Poliwrath. So it's got a little blue dot right there, and I got a 6. I cracked it out of a 9.5 CGC, so that's kind of depressing and sad. And then final niche one, I got auto signed. This is Fire Red Leaf Green Poliwhirl. Absolutely one of my favorite Poliwhirl cards to exist, and it's signed by the voice actor for Poliwhirl, Eric Stewart. So next, these are loose cards in my collection that haven't really found a home yet. So first, we have this whole stack of Chinese Gem Pack 1. I've got the Pikachu. There's just a lot of cards in here. I got the Quaxley Pikachu are like probably the main two. I bought this back in like when it first came out from a rip and shipper, Trainer Spree, and I haven't done anything with it since. So it's just been sitting around. So want to figure out something to do with that. And then all these cards are just this Houndoom I bought back in September for like 20-30 bucks, and now it's like 100 something. I want to keep this card forever, but not really sure what to do with it. These are the 2 promos from the Charizard UPC which I bought. They look very clean, so these are going to go to grading. This Blastoise I got from a God Pack rip and ship streamer, again, Trainer Spree. It's just assume when I say, I'm just going to say Trainer Spree. It was actually a God Pack. It was Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise. I sold the other 2, kind of just like to fund, I guess, like to reinvest. So basically, this Blastoise is for free. I got this for free, so that's pretty cool. We got a Cerulege, Stuffle, Flygon. I bought this Pikachu at like $330 and now it's $270, which is, again, it's kind of like maybe I should have waited a little bit. Well, first off, I didn't know that freaking GoPro made a weird sound. I always wanted this card. This is I saw this card and it's absolutely gorgeous, so I'm super happy to own it. Sure, I could have paid a little bit less, but a card is worth what you're willing to pay for it. And I traded a Mega Lucario SIR that I pulled and some cash for it on top, so I don't really feel like I'm losing or trading. He gave me an incredible deal for the trade. He gave me 200 trade value when the card was like 220 at the time, so I'm very happy just about the situation in general. I'm super happy to own this card. Just don't know what to do with it right now, so it's a little off center, so it won't grade well, but maybe I'll just grade it just to put it in a slab. We got a Score Bunny, Mega Lopunny. I bought this super high as well. This Pikachu, very sad story. A vendor said that this was like worth a lot of money. I saw one sale for the price that he had it listed, so I bought it. And then I did more research and it's like a $5 card and I bought it for 50. So shout out that seller. Sure, he didn't really know. And then we got just another raw Pokewhirl that is just sitting out there. All right, so those are literally everything that's loose on my desk. Besides my two favorite slabs that I have right now, I've got a Pokewhirl and a PSA 10, and then I've got the Vending Series Poliwrath and a PSA 10. I bought this when I first started collecting it back in September for like $120. What a purchase that was, because this thing is so up, but this is going to be a forever keep for me unless I like go bankrupt or something. We'll see, but this is a card I want to keep for the rest of my life. It's one of my favorite arts of all time. All right, so next we're going to go through all of the binders. I have 5, 7 binders, something like that. First, we're going to go through binders that I shouldn't have, and I'll explain it in a bit. So first, I bought the binder collection for Prismatic, and my idea was that I was like, oh, I'm gonna master set Terastal, because it honestly, Terastal / Prismatic is one of my favorite sets because I just think every artwork is absolutely gorgeous. Some people don't like the Terastalize effect. I think it's really cool, and especially like in the TCG, the concept is really cool as well. I have a bunch of just random Pokeballs or EXs that I pulled. I'm just gonna go through this. And again, a first mistake I have, I kind of realized around like a few days after I bought this, after I was like, I'm gonna commit, I should have been like, you know what? Am I really gonna commit to this? So quite literally after Crispin right here, this binder is completely empty. And you saw how empty it was before. So kind of a mistake. I'm not really sure what to do with this, but I do like the binder. So I'm keeping it for now. Maybe one day I'll hop back to it. But another collecting tip, and I'm gonna honestly make a collecting video, like a tips for collecting, because as someone who's not, you know, insanely rich and can't buy like PSA 10s of everything, and who's made a lot of mistakes in collecting, I feel like I could give really good advice to it. And the second mistake binder I made was 151, because honestly, apart from the Pokewhirl illustration rare, some of the SIRs, honestly, artistically, this isn't really one of my favorite sets. As you can see, this one is a lot more full. I'm actually pretty close to having all the reverse holos and normals for all the 151. But as we go through the binder, once we hit this point, it is, again, literally empty. So I guess we have some promos and the holo thing here. But other than that, nothing really in this binder. I was actually like somewhat close to completing it. I think I needed like 3 SIRs left and like 2 illustration rares, but I kind of got to a point where I was like, I'd rather sell it while it was high, because this was around like March, and reinvest it into some other cards that I would prefer, which is something that I did. Again, a big collecting mistake for me, but you live and you learn. All right, now let's go to collection stuff that is one of the things I'd recommend when you are doing a collection, one of the ways you can collect. So this is the blue binder. I have a blue, white, and red binder from Card Guard. They're very cheap binders. These are like kind of like scrap cards. This binder is going to be for every Yukimori art. Now, I'm not doing every Yukimori card, so like just again, example for like this Poliwag right here, it has a reverse holo and a non-reverse holo, and I'm kind of just only doing one, because for me, when I do this artist binder, it's going to be about the art more so than like what the rarity of the card is. So some of these are going to be holo, some of them are not. It just, it's going to be what it is, so we're just going to scroll through it. I'm still quite a ways away, but I do love the progress. Besides the, I guess, the Lost Thunder page right here, we got the nice Venusaur Snivy promo, which is one of the more expensive cards. So I'm glad I got out of the way. These two got gifted. This one's actually a Ditto. It's pretty sick. But yeah, then we're going to get to like the modern times. I still need I need Carablast, Helioptile, Larvesta, and Minccino. And then I'll have, oh no. I'm almost done with Scarlet and Violet era for this. And I love this Clefairy. This Clefairy is absolutely adorable. So Yukimori binder is looking pretty good. Next binder, and this is a binder I don't focus on, so I'm never like locking into buying Yukimori cards. This is more so if I see them at shows, I'll always pick them up, but it's not like I'm hard investing to complete this master set. This is something that keeps me going to shows, because honestly, going to Pokemon shows every single week can be a little exhausting. So this is one of the things that keeps it fresh. I always just got to look through binders, see if, you know, vendors, new vendors or vendors I have never met have Yukimori cards, and then I can buy them. And the second artist is going to be from this white binder, and it is going to be Tomi Komiya. So this is going to be the Komiya binder. It's going to be a little less complete than the Yukimori. I did start this one later, but the vintage is definitely not looking good for this binder. And also I have all the ones named out that I still need, so I know exactly where they're going to go. I love this horsey. Some of these cards I kind of just bought on my own, honestly, before I even started to like organize it. I had a ton of Koimiya cards because I just was like, oh, that's a cool art, I'm gonna buy it. And you know, that's a collecting thing you do. If you just like, if it's a very cheap card, you can be like, oh, I like the art of that card, I'm gonna buy it. And I feel like people don't really appreciate these half arts compared to what they used to back in the day, because again, back in the day we only had half arts. I wouldn't know that, I didn't collect back in the day. But so here's the Koimiya binder, emptier than the Yukimori, but again, this is not one I'm locked in on. It's one that I just do over time when I find the cards. And then last but not least, or this is definitely not last, next binder is going to be called my Red Binder of Randomness. And when you look through this binder, you're going to realize just how random it is, because this is kind of just a binder that if I have polls or if there's art that I just really like, I kind of just throw in there. So these are a lot of my poll stuff. Honestly, it's looking emptier. I did sell a lot of these cards recently. But then the beautiful thing about it is now I get to fill all these pages back up from polls I get in the future. So this Charizard is disgusting. I love him. So we're just going to flip through this. Again, just a bunch of random cards. I opened Celebrations back in the day, so those are some Celebration cards. And these are like arts I really like. Like I pulled these three. I didn't pull this Altaria, but I absolutely love this Altaria, so I bought it. Got some a lot of Polyrats and Poliwhirls, like my extra ones. Yep, pages aren't looking as full as they used to, but I will fill them up in due time. Don't worry about that. So this is going to be that binder. Very cool. And the last binder that we're gonna go through now, well actually we have two. First one, we have this black binder, and this is going to be for a new collection series I am doing. It's not something I've seen done, so it's kind of a unique idea to me at least. So this will be revealed probably on the 9th of January is when the first episode for the series is going to come out for this binder. There's 5 cards here that are going to be going in this binder. So again, I'm super excited for this series. It's going to be really cool, but this will be revealed in due time. And the last binder I have, my main binder, is going to be my Poly collection binder. First off, absolutely custom sticker. Should have costed $100. Probably not. Maybe overpaid a little bit on that, but I'm very happy with the design. So these are going to be the binder for every Poliwag, Whirl, and Wrath in English. And I'm honestly almost complete with it, as you'll see. So first page, sad we're missing the first edition. This is probably the next card I'm going to buy just to have this first page fully complete. But we have the first edition, Shadowless, base set, and then we have base set 4th print, which has the 1999 to 2000 copyright on the bottom. Then we got base set 2, Gym Heroes, or it's, I don't know this, honestly, I don't know the vintage sets, but we got the, first ed, Neo, Gym Heroes, and then non-first edition. And then these ones are from Gym Challenge, I believe, or if they're from Gym Heroes as well. And they're just like the 2 Misty's Poliwag. We got a Mr. Fuji here because I don't really have a card to fit there. Anyways, we have Neo Discovery First Edition, non-first edition. Then we have Expedition. These are the normals, and then this is the Poliwrath Holo, and then the reverse holos. And there's a page at the back of this binder, which I'll show right now. So the Neo Discoveries have a non-holo first edition, non-first edition. The Poliwraths have a 2 different versions of a non-holo and a reverse holo, which is super weird, low-key. There's the Poliwag ones. I think it's from Unbroken Bonds, and then we have the My First Pokemon ones there. Anyways, here we have the non-holos. The regular Poliwrath holo would go here if I have it for Skyridge, which I don't. This is just the non-holo version. So this one will go in that back slot, and the actual Poliwrath reverse holo will go, or regular holo will go here. Anyways, then we have the reverse holos, Fire Red Leaf Green, Fire Red Leaf Green, reverse holos, and the Poliwrath looks super sick. So I'm gonna bring this up. Look how absolutely gorgeous those reverse holos are. And then also, this is Unseen Forces. Yeah, definitely didn't look at the reverse tag. So we have the non-holos, the Poliwrath's holo, and then we have the reverse holos that are stamped. I wish there were more stamped poly cards, but these are the only set that got them. And then we have Furious Fists. No, this isn't Furious Fists. I forgot what set this is, but I absolutely love this goofy looking Poliwrath here. And then we have, oh my goodness, what set is this? Set names are very hard for me to remember, but we got the Unleashed. This is Unleashed. Poliwag, Poliwhirl, Poliwrath. Then we have the reverse holos, and then these ones actually got state and staff promos. So that's, or the Poliwhirl is the state. This is city, state, nation championships that were given out to players and staff members. I have this whole page complete. It looks absolutely sick. Here is Furious Fists. This Poliwag looks, the Poliwag looks absolutely derpy. I love it so much. And this is honestly my least favorite Poliwrath card. Then we got Evolutions reverses, and there's actually a Poliwrath that I'm missing from Evolutions. It came in a Gyarados deck box, and it's a non-holo Poliwrath. It is very hard to find. It's very expensive because it's very niche. It's one of those cards that the right person will pay the price for it, and I am that right person, but I'm kind of just delaying the inevitable because I don't want to pay that much. Anyways, we have no, this is not Lost Origin. This is Sun and Moon base. This Poliwrath holo I actually pulled myself. Wow. Then we have, this is the one with those extra Poliwags. Then this is Lost Origin. This is 151, and we got 2 that are missing. But I have one on my wall. I have the extra one I can probably just throw in here. This page is going to get filled up again. The idea of this page is to get signed by different content creators. So off the dome, I know I want Deep Pocket Monster. I want Trainer Spree's going to sign one. I want Oyama. I want Bulbasaur. And then I'll figure out the other ones later. And then this is Jarchomp's signature that we have. So this page will be full of Poliwraths with signatures, which is going to be very cool. And then the last page is Twilight Masquerade, as it is the latest sets that was released. And then now here is going to be either cards that are extra and don't really fit in how I have the binder laid out. There's a few ways you can lay out a binder like this. I have it so it shows all 3 evolutions, or I could just do all Poliwags, Poliwhirls, Poliwraths. There's, ways you can do it, but that's just how I have it right now. And then these are going to be cards that are featuring one of the 3. So I'm going to put this one super close. This one is probably the hardest, but look at right there on that little bottle. You see Poliwhirl. Look at that. This is like the secondary focus. My main focus was completing the actual cards, but and then we're gonna get Japanese exclusive ones. So we have the Chuck's Poliwrath there. These 3 have bottles that feature them, and then these are just like some Japanese ones. I have the Master Ball. I have the Chinese Pokeball, and then we have some top stuff and just some other random stuff. And then this page is going to be, I was going to do a Journey Together page. I'm still debating if I want to commit to that, but I do really love Journey Together's art sets. So that is the last binder. And with that is everything I have in my collection. So that is everything I've collected in 2025. My 2026 goal, the first one, is to just finish the Poliwrath. So I'm probably going to stop buying small cards and just commit to buying the 4 Poliwraths because they're going to be a little bit expensive. That's going to be it for me. I hope you all have a great day. Start this new year strong. 2026 is going to be our years for real. Well, maybe your guys' year. 2028 is going to be my year for real. But I'll see you all next time I upload. Peace.